Don't those bagpipes just warm you up? Welcome everyone to our blustery convocation. I would like to start by acknowledging the Tsleil-Waututh, Squamish, Coquitlam, and Musqueam peoples on whose traditional territories we are honored to be gathered this morning. I would like first to invite Mr. Jason Spence to lead us all in singing O Canada. Jason.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command, with glowing voice I see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Well done, thank you.
Please be seated. I declare the Fall 2017 Convocation assembled for the granting of degrees. Mr. President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduands, and our many friends, I am Anne Giardini, the Chancellor of this university, and we are delighted and honored to have you join us for convocations. Over 50 years ago, at SFU's first convocation, a mere 12 degrees were conferred. This fall, SFU will surpass 150,000 graduates. In attendance today are a number of distinguished guests in the audience and on the platform, including members of Senate, vice presidents, deans, and faculty. I would like to acknowledge SFU Chancellor Emeritus and Honorary Degree recipient, Dr. Brant Louie, SFU Presidents Emeriti and Honorary Degree recipients, Dr. Jack Blaney and Dr. Michael Stevenson, Honorary Degree recipient, Ray Spaxman, from SFU's Board of Governors, our Chair, Julia Kim, Mr. David Gillanders, who will be conferred an honorary doctorate of laws this morning, and so will be Dr. Gillanders shortly. And our SFU alumni, legacy, parents, and families, welcome all. Enlightened, educated, shimmering with potential, you have before you a world of almost unlimited possibilities, and your dilemma will be to find the places where your talents and abilities can shine. Convocation is one of life's turning points. In the story of your lives, which I hope will be long and accomplished, you have completed a new chapter, your time here at Simon Fraser University. Today signifies your launch into a dramatic future plot. Toward the middle or an end of a sonnet, there is a volta, a turn, a twist of perspective or philosophy that makes the sonnet either personal or universal. A volta can make a simple sonnet resound like a bell. This convocation day is like that, a volta, a resonance, a turn, the closing of one perspective and an opening into new ones. People my age tend to try to make a coherent story of the life we've lived, to draw connections among the data points, to say that such and such decision or event led to a following decision or event. And for the most part, we succeed. As the scientist and writer Stephen Jay Gould pointed out, we love a sensible and satisfying story, although he went on to remind us that the most satisfying tales are in fact constructed ones. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman put it this way in his remarkable book, Thinking Fast and Slow. Narrative fallacies arise inevitably from our continuous attempts to make sense of the world. Although, like a novel, our lives have a beginning and a middle, and I'm sad to say, an end, they tend not to be nearly as tidy or as organized or as adroitly plotted as literature. Poems and stories and novels and works of nonfiction are shaped and bounded by their authors and editors in a way that our messy and wonderful lives tend not to be. Being human can be difficult, and the larger and longer our lives, the more random and external events will get in the way of the plot. Unlike writers, we are not in control of our material. The delightful sensation of immersion in a controlled universe is one reason that we enjoy reading or being read to. I know I share with many of you an abiding love of books, and I've also come to adore their recent counterpart, the podcast, which frankly is, in my view, one of the great marvels of our age. An example of today's converged media products that bring together audio, the internet, and our ubiquitous devices, podcasts bring to our avid ears a seemingly endless stream of stories. Stories that we can listen to while doing other things, such as walking to work, or doing the dishes, or avoiding writing a term paper. I've become addicted to the buzz of smart stories well told, spilling intimately into my ears as I go from point A to B or attend to other tasks. As it happens, some of the attributes that make podcasts interesting apply just as well in our lives. As in podcasts, our lives can have a sustaining storyline or theme, one that draws people in immediately and that leads toward interesting and satisfying opportunities. Yours might be a commitment to the environment, for example, or to problem solving, or helping others, or shaping your community. Second, both have what I might call flow, each event and episode leaving somehow in a way that feels inevitable to the next. Another commonality is a compelling voice and framing perspective, someone from whose point of view the story is presented, and that will be in your life your point of view. Although we may not be in control of the story of our life, we do have the ability to bring perspective to it. The power to frame and reframe what goes on around us and how we respond. Do we see the world from Heathcliff's point of view or from Catherine's? From the y-axis or the x? As an actor on the stage or as a technician behind the scene? As a historian or a futurist? As an optimist or a pessimist? Framing and reframing by individuals and societies can change organizations, states, and history. It's been argued, for example, that our modern world, in which we value and are open to change and innovation, arose out of dramatically new ways of perceiving history and advancement centuries ago, and fresh insight that progress might be useful, desirable, and possible. That perception allowed people to risk setting aside the old and the known, to break the tradition in favor of what became ultimately the explosive technological and economic developments that we are familiar with today. So my first wish for you is for you to lead a life from which you can shape a wonderful story when you are old. My second wish is for you to bring your SFU commitment to engagement with you to all you do. Just as you have had the opportunity here at SFU for an engaged student experience, you now have the opportunity to become an engaged alumnus. Daniel Kahneman describes engaged people as more alert, more intellectually active, less willing to be satisfied with superficially attractive answers, more skeptical about their intuitions. So my hope is for you to be that kind of person. And my final wish for you comes from the poet Emily Dickinson, who discerned, as I hope you will, that life is so startling, it leaves little time for anything else. Congratulations. I will now call on the president of our university, Professor Andrew Petter.
Thank you. Madam Chancellor, honored guests, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty members, staff, and most especially, graduates, family, and friends. It's my privilege to preside at this culminating celebration of your education at Simon Fraser University. You have earned this moment. You've worked hard in your studies, deepened your knowledge, and broadened your horizons. And along the way, you've cultivated your gifts, honed your abilities, and gained many lifelong friends. Today marks a major milestone, and you have every right to feel proud and excited. At the same time, you might be forgiven for feeling a tad apprehensive. Having worked so hard, the world you're about to inherit might seem a bit battered around the edges. South of the border, there's been a rise in nativism and a decline in political civility. Growing tensions abroad and an opioid crisis at home have fueled anxieties and fears. And the devastation caused by Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria is a disturbing portend of what our failure to address climate change might hold in store. Yet despite these developments, there is also cause for hope and optimism. The Oslo Peace Institute reports that there have been fewer wars and fewer war deaths in the past 10 years than at any time in the past century. Harvard psychologist Steven Pinker, who stood on this stage to receive an honorary degree just a few years ago, has documented a steep decline in worldwide violence that he notes may be the most significant and least appreciated development in the history of our species. Canadians enjoy the longest life expectancy ever, and we've seen a significant rise in educational attainment. Major strides have been taken in advancing women's equality and LGBTQ rights, and we've embarked upon a journey of truth and reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. In these and other areas, while there is still much work to be done, things are moving in a positive direction. But nothing makes me more hopeful than looking out at all of you. I've witnessed the dedication, the excellence, the passion that you have brought to your time at SFU. And I've seen the commitments you've made to yourselves and to each other. I'm particularly reminded of the We Are All SFU event that was held earlier this year in Freedom Square following the announcement of the US travel ban on citizens of 7 Muslim-majority countries. That event came about because students, faculty, and staff were determined to stare down the darkness, to repudiate threats to human rights, freedom, and international understanding. And your response was inspiring. So many of you turned out with courage and conviction to demonstrate your solidarity with those affected by the ban and to show that you would not tolerate any erosion to their rights and their freedoms. That same spirit and determination was on display last month when so many from SFU joined the Vancouver Walk for Reconciliation, an affirmation of our shared commitment to Canada's Indigenous peoples. I would like to believe that that activism and that sense of purpose were nurtured here at SFU. As Canada's engaged university and one whose vision is grounded in values of diversity, inclusion, and mutual respect, SFU has assumed a special responsibility to build bridges and strengthen civil society, to promote evidence-based dialogue and deliberation on issues of public policy, and to support religious freedom, social equality, and cross-cultural engagement. It's deeply gratifying to me, therefore, to see how widely these values are shared by our students, our faculty, and our staff. So here is my hope and my wish for you as you start on the next chapter of your lives. As you take from this university the knowledge, skills, and capacities you need to achieve personal success, I urge you to also take with you commitments to social justice and to engagement. In the course of improving your own lives, spare some time and energy for improving the lives of others and for making the world a better place. You may well look to the future with measures of excitement and apprehension. There will be good times, but there will be bad. Wherever you go, push towards the good. Humans have greater capacity than ever to conquer challenges in the environment, in the economy, and in society. In these difficult tasks, embrace the role the world needs you to play, and never doubt your ability to make a difference. As anthropologist Jane Goodall has observed, you cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference. You just have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. Today, you join a community of 150,000 SFU alumni around the world. Remarkable people, many of whom are already engaged in making their lives and their communities better. Together, your impact can be transformative. So step up and stay in touch. In the years to come, SFU will always be here for you to answer questions and to help you continue your education whenever the need should arise. For now, to you, the parents, partners, mentors, and supporters who brought you to this moment, congratulations. Today is for celebration. Tomorrow, the opportunity to build a better world awaits. Good luck and good fortune in all that you do.
SFU's honorary degree is the highest honor conferred by the university. Honorary degrees are awarded to distinguished individuals in recognition of their scholarly, scientific, or artistic achievement, or in recognition of exceptional contribution to the public good through professional or philanthropic activity. Honorary degree recipients' achievements celebrate our university's values and serve as an inspiration and role model to our students, graduates, and our communities. The honorary degree will now be conferred. To present the honorary degree candidate, Mr. David Gillanders, I am pleased to welcome Dr. Mark Rosland. Dr. Mark Rosland is a professor of planning in the School of Resource and Environmental Management and director of the Center for Sustainable Development in the Faculty of Environment. A renowned expert on sustainable communities, Dr. Rosland is the elected faculty representative on the board of directors of the Sfu Community Trust. Dr. Rosland.
Madam Chancellor, it is my honor to present David Gillanders, who has guided the effort to bring to fruition Simon Fraser University's long-standing vision of a community atop Burnaby Mountain. Just look around this mountaintop. Just look around this mountaintop, and you will see the results of Mr. Gillanders' efforts. University is a vibrant, livable community admired the world over. Home to more than 5,000 people, it includes shops and services, a LEED Gold elementary school, and what has been described as the greenest daycare center on the planet. SFU's founders had always intended a residential community on the campus, but one issue or another thwarted development for some 30 years. Finally, in 1996, SFU and the City of Burnaby struck an agreement that would allow the university to develop the area adjacent to the campus. Strong and trusted leadership was needed to ensure that the disparate forces of students, faculty, and neighboring community members, all of whom had reservations about the potential impacts of development on the mountain, could agree to the project. With a 40-year career as an internationally respected real estate development lawyer, David Gillanders emerged as the leader with the experience and credibility to gain the trust of everyone involved. He worked steadfastly for 16 years as chair of the SFU Community Trust, leading a remarkable board of directors, including faculty and student representatives, administrators, SFU Board of Governors appointees, and prominent external experts. As a member of the board's trust for that entire time, I have had the privilege of working with Mr. Gillanders at the board table since the beginning of that project. The benefits of university extend well beyond the community you now see on the mountaintop. and are due in no small measure to Mr. Gillanders' guiding hand as chair. Under his leadership, SFU has earned international acclaim for having conceived, developed, and demonstrated a model sustainable community. When we started this project, few people knew the term sustainable community. Today, planning and development experts from around the world travel to university to study and try to emulate the success of this award-winning community. The Sfu Community Trust, under Mr. Gillanders' stewardship, has also raised over $40 million for an endowment that directly supports SFU's teaching and research mission. In recognition of Mr. Gillanders' long involvement with the Sfu Community Trust, an award in his name will be made to SFU students in the Urban Studies program whose research focuses on sustainable community building and advancing the built environment. Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of this university, I ask that you now confer upon David Gillanders the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
David Gillanders, by virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I do hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Dr. Gillanders will be hooded by Dr. Wade Parkhouse, Vice Provost and Assistant Vice President Academic, and Ms. Romana Khan-Hamani, Registrar and Executive Director of Student Enrollment.
Congratulations, Doctor.
Thank you.
We'll sign the book and a photo and we'll go through it. Wait, It is with great pleasure that I now call on Dr. David Gillanders for his convocation address. Dr. Gillanders.
Thank you. First, thank you, Mark, for a wonderful introduction and summary of university. And thank you, Madam Chancellor and President Fetter, for your kind words. Good morning to you all. I'm very honored to be here today. I'm a proud British Columbia. I've spent most of my adult life watching the development of this province and this university with great interest and wonder. Although I'm unable to place my ancestry with the Coast Salish people whose territory we are privileged to stand today, my family has nonetheless been in British Columbia a very long time. My mother was born in Hope and my father in Chilliwack. The Lougheed Highway is named after my uncle, Nelson Lougheed, who was once BC's Minister of Public Works. My father was a doctor of geology, so as a child, I moved a lot from small mining towns in eastern Canada to the Northwest Territories, where I attended a school with one teacher who taught 9 students in 8 different grades. After that, I attended high school at St. Andrew's College in Aurora, Ontario. Ultimately, I graduated from UBC with a combined commerce and law degree. You will have to forgive me for not choosing SFU instead, but in 1965, the year I graduated, SFU had just opened and begun its first classes. The next 46 years were spent practicing real estate law. I got in on the ground floor in the development of the shopping center industry, doing the legal work for malls like Surrey Place, Pine Center in Prince George, Tamarack Mall in Cranbrook, Tillicum Mall in Victoria, as well as larger projects such as the expansion of Metrotown Center and Oak Ridge, among others. These were amazing projects that changed the face of the region. But I have to admit, the greatest rewards in my life have come not from the daily grind, but what I have given of my own time. For example, I'm very proud of my involvement as the founding president of the first Ronald McDonald House in Vancouver, and other involvements such as a board member of the Children's Hospital, president of Vancouver Opera, and president of the Bill Reid Foundation, to name a few. Two other interests stand out, however. At UBC, I was fortunate to be drawn into rowing, where I ultimately found my niche as manager of the team. As such, I coached the two Olympic spares, George Hungerford and Roger Jackson, who went on to win Olympic gold in the 1964 Summer Games in Tokyo. It was an amazing experience. My involvement, however, with University is one of the most enjoyable and fulfilling undertakings that I've taken. I was recruited in 1997 by then President Jack Blaney to serve as volunteer chair of what became the Sfu Community Trust, the group that initially planned and to the present day still oversees the development of the area. The proposed project fascinated me. It was a very complex undertaking in an out-of-the-way location on land that was for lease rather than for sale. When we started, we had no idea whether developers would be willing to build on Burnaby Mountain, and if they did, whether people would ultimately commit to buy on the mountain. We were lucky. Some very good decisions were made by the trust. First, we hired Michael Geller as the first president of the trust. Michael proved to be an excellent choice. He loved to be out front leading the charge, and as such got the project off to a remarkable start. When Michael ultimately made the decision to step down after 7 years to pursue his own architecture career, we got very lucky for a second time when we hired Gordon Harris as the Trust's second president. Gordon brought to the project his incredible passion for sustainable development and his lifelong commitment to community building. Because of Michael and Gordon's solid credentials and impeccable reputations in the industry, the Trust was able to attract the best developers in the region. Consequently, this once isolated campus atop Burnaby Mountain has been transformed. The Trust has already contributed very substantial income to SFU, and because everything is leased, the lands will ultimately revert to SFU in approximately 99 years. To say that University has been successful beyond anyone's wildest dreams is an understatement. The project has received local, national, and international acclaim as one of the most sustainable communities on the planet. This is a tribute not only to the Trust planning team, but also to the university leaders from John Stubbs to Jack Blaney to Michael Stevenson to current President Andrew Patter, all of whom have demanded and supported work of the highest standards. Make no mistake, the job was no walk in the park. Telling the entire student body at SFU that the Trust was going to sanction the cutting down of 20 to 30 hectares of trees so we could build a sustainable community could have been a deal breaker. Fortunately, it was not, as Michael Geller and his team worked very hard to get the balance right. Only one student changed himself to a stump, how after buying him loads of coffee and then inviting him back to the Trust's bathroom-equipped offices, we managed to get along just fine. The development of University was concentrated on a very small footprint, less than 65 hectares, while at the same time dedicating 320 hectares for the permanent protection of SFU as part of the Burnaby Mountain Conservation Area. University has been a huge positive for the environment, but I really believe that all of Metro Vancouver has become more sustainable because of all that is being built atop the mountain. University is a shining example of a fully integrated community with dwellers, staff, faculty, and students are living together, working and shopping and playing. It serves as a permanent example of everything that can be accomplished when individuals dedicated to a common end work together cooperatively. Though my involvement with the Trust is now officially over, I still confess to wanting to keep a watchful eye on what is continuing on Burnaby Mountain. Gordon Harris has indulged this whim and has been very generous with his time, keeping me in the loop on a regular basis. 17 years is a long time to be associated with one project, but University has not been just any project. It is unique, and for me, it was the opportunity of a lifetime to be an integral part of the creation of something very special for Burnaby Mountain, SFU, British Columbia, and indeed all of Canada. I thank all those who placed their confidence in me at the beginning of this wonderful adventure and gave me this incredible experience. In closing, and with apologies to poet William Blake, great things are done when men and mountains meet.
Thank you, David. Step down carefully. Thank you, Dr. Gillanders. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of Convocation, the Alumni Association will present a Simon Fraser University alumni pin to the graduates as they leave the stage. Our alumni are incredibly important to us, and we're pleased that this symbolic presentation will launch you in your new role as alumni of SFU. Mr. Sam Tierra received a Bachelor of Business Administration in 1986 and dedicated much of his career towards supporting students through his work in the Beedie School of Business. He remains engaged with SFU today as a volunteer board member with the SFU Alumni Association. I invite Mr. Tierra to the lectern to bring greetings to the graduands. Sam?
Thank you, President Petter. On behalf of your elected Alumni Association Board, I extend my congratulations to you all. You are now a lifetime member of our SFU Alumni Association and the community, a worldwide network that is now more than 150,000 strong. What a great milestone. And this is in over 140 countries. Your relationship with SFU transforms now as your journey continues. We are here to help you in your personal and professional network through local, national, and international events, and to support your success through offering access to career resources, library services, and many value-added benefits. Our goal is to have you serve as an engaged alumni, helping advance and enhance the student experience for our future graduates, and serving as ambassadors for your SFU community. As you cross the stage today, I'll present you with an alumni pin. Please wear it as a symbol of your incredible achievement and connection to SFU. Be proud of your accomplishments. Be proud of your SFU credentials. And thank you for investing in time, energy, talent in this great university. Congratulations again and welcome to the Alumni Association. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Before the graduands are presented individually to the Chancellor, Mr. Kevin Cruz, a member of the graduating class, will address Convocation. Kevin is graduating with a Bachelor of Business Administration degree with a concentration in innovation, entrepreneurship, and marketing. During his academic life, he participated in various student club activities and competitions. Highlights include pitching at the Coast Capital Savings Venture Connection Prize Competition, winning the 2015 SFU Student Entrepreneur of the Year competition, and being named Enactus Canada's 2015 Student Entrepreneur Provincial Champion. After graduation, he plans to focus on his startup company and take his product to market by 2018. I'm pleased now to call upon Mr. Kevin Cruz for the graduand address. Kevin?
Honorable Chancellor, President, staff members, friends, proud parents, and fellow graduates, we made it. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today in celebrating this great milestone. Today, we graduates are joining an esteemed community of 150,000 alumni made up of inspiring individuals who are making an impact in over 140 countries, truly engaging the world. SFU is an amazing institution that has given us the opportunity to expand our horizons and empower us with the knowledge and tools to shape our futures and achieve our goals. Throughout my academic life here, it was always emphasized that it is not just about what we achieve in the classroom, but what you do with the lessons you've learned and the skills you've acquired to impact the world outside of it. Without SFU, we would not be the leaders, the innovators, and the game changers that we are today. I'm honored to be here this morning, speaking on behalf of this graduating class. Writing this speech has been an oddly cathartic, yet slightly stressful experience. in that it has allowed me to reflect upon the many experiences that have shaped the person that I am today, while it has also given me the challenge of condensing it all into a short, concise speech. But hey, if I can nail a 30-second elevator pitch, this should be a piece of cake, right? After many conversations with my fellow graduates, former professors, and alumni, I was struck with a humbling realization that my words would only scratch the surface of the many experiences we've had, the lessons we've learned, and the sacrifices we've made along the way. So ultimately, I have to go with what my gut tells me are the best words to share with you today, which is a great segue into the first of 3 takeaways I want to leave with you today. The first, make the best decisions that you can possibly make and own it. After competing in multiple case competitions, participating in student clubs and volunteer opportunities, and working on my own startup, I learned firsthand the value of strong decision-making. Putting aside the endless SWOT analyses, Porter's 5 forces, and other analytical frameworks, at the end of the day, the information that you have to make a decision will never be perfect, so just make it. The worst thing that you can do is end up in an endless cycle of thought, what we business students like to call analysis paralysis, and either make your decision too late or never at all. You can run as many simulations as you want, but how will you ultimately know you've made the right decision if you never made it in the first place? It is also important to remember that you will make mistakes and that you will experience failure. Don't wait to give yourself permission to fail. Don't even bother asking or even telling the world that you're ready to fail. Just do it. Fail. And fail better than last time. If you're not making mistakes, you are not making decisions. Regardless of success or failure, own the decisions that you make and see them through to their ends. No one wants to work with a half-hearted decision maker. But what do you do in those moments where you simply don't have enough information to make that decision? It's simple. Ask questions. If something doesn't make sense, ask for clarification. If you don't know something, ask someone who does, or ask Google. If you want that job, call that place and ask for it. If you want something, ask for it. Throughout your life, you will encounter moments where you will have to make those big decisions. And you will have to draw insight from the lessons you've learned, the skills you've honed here, and the relationships that you've forged along the way. Which brings me to my second takeaway. Stop networking and start building authentic relationships. When you're out there at networking events or in the workplace, it's surprisingly very easy to lose sight of the fact that at the end of the day, we're all just people. It's easy to start viewing people as nothing more than the titles that they have on their business cards or their LinkedIn profiles, and it's very easy to start basing our own sense of self-worth, of our self-value, on the titles that we carry. People are more than their titles, and it's very easy to see that by simply taking a genuine interest in the people that you meet. Everyone is the hero of their own story. Be curious, listen, make them feel like the hero that they are, and do it sincerely. There's also a common misconception that you need to carry yourself in a certain way and fit into some certain mold to be considered successful. But to take advantage of the opportunities that you have in front of you, you need to stand out. And what better way is there to do that than to embrace your own unique self, imperfections included, and let that shine. Know who you are. Know what value you bring to the table and embrace it, so that when the opportunity presents itself, you don't end up trying to be what you or what others think you should be. You are just you, and that's all anyone should ever ask of you. Which now leads me to my third and final takeaway. Be humble. Always remember where you came from, and always remember that you're only just a small piece of a much larger picture. I was born in the Philippines, and my family and I first came here to Canada when I was 3 years old. We came here because my parents wanted me to have the best education that I could possibly have. Both my parents made so many sacrifices, so many difficult decisions to give my sister and I opportunities that they never had growing up. You all know this story. Many of you have or are living this story. I don't even know where to begin to show how thankful I am to my mom and to my dad and the rest of my family. Fellow graduates, be thankful for what your families have given up to get you to where you are today. You would not be standing where you are today if you were not standing on their shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, no one knows what the future holds for us. It's up to us to shape it with the tools that we have and the tools that SFU has given us throughout our stays here. To quote the great Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." Although I may not know everyone here today, I sincerely hope that the universe allows our paths to cross again one day, so that I can see how you became the hero of your own story. So remember, make the best decisions that you can possibly make and own it. Build genuine, authentic relationships with the people that you meet. And be humble. Congratulations, class of 2017. The world is yours. Light it up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you. Oh, yes, of course.
That was great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kevin. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please stand? Pretty good-looking group, don't you think? Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university, and I request that you confer upon them all the degrees for which they are recommended.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I do hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. The graduands may now be seated.
The members of the graduating class will now be presented individually to the Chancellor. But first, just a few requests. Would you please refrain from applauding the individual members of the graduating class until each group of degrees has been conferred? This does not apply to the conferral of doctoral degrees, and obviously we can't forbid spontaneous outbursts of enthusiasm, nor will we want to, like that one back there right now, for example. Yeah, that's it, spontaneous. As a courtesy to others, I'd ask you to please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony, and I'd ask the graduates to please return to your seats following the receipt of your degrees. However, our doctoral graduates can join their colleagues on the platform. The degrees in the Beedie School of Business and the Faculty of Science will now be conferred. Madam Chancellor, the Associate Dean of Academics in Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, Dr. Edward Park, will announce the names of the students earning graduate degrees.
Presenting the graduate of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Beedie School of Business. The graduate will be hooded by their accompanying faculty supervisor, representative, or Dr. Ali Dasmachian, Dean of the Beedie School of Business. Simon Peck. Dr. Simon Peck will be hooded by Supervisor Brenda Lacci. Congratulations. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Science. The graduates will be hooded by their accompanying faculty supervisor, representative, or Dr. Claire Coppers, Dean of the Faculty of Science. Regan Bellon. Courtney Chuka. Jessica Luo. Dr. Luo will be hooded by Supervisor Dr. Stephen Holcroft. Chi Zhang. Dr. Zhang will be hooded by Senior Supervisor, Dr. Stephen Holcroft. Alyssa Patterson. Michael Peabody. Dr. Peabody will be hooded by Senior Supervisor, Dr. Fiona Brinkman. Ryan Roberts. Sarah Thompson. Dr. Thompson will be hooded by Senior Supervisor, Dr. David Green. Samrat Sukha. Dr. Sutta will be hooded by Supervisor Dr. Thomas Clayton. Paris Tunser. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degree in the Beedie School of Business. Renee Bernstein. Marley Brown. Isabel Ciobanu. Jennifer Kui. Kenny Durr. Chanel Dupre. Andreas Fick. Matthew Grunert. Michael Joyce. Shivaji Kumar. Bill Lakeland. Michelle Laurel. Jean-Michel Lawson. Jason Levy. Jacqueline Lee. Peter Lind. Jean Louis. Alan McKinnon. Arash Masumi. Duncan Napier. Aaron Otho. Marcus Panwitz. Jordan Paul. Avi Prasad. Elena Ranyuk. Trevor Rold. Thomas Scaria. Peter Stack. Anissa Suleiman. Peter Shimchak. Pankaj Tiwari. Kaiwan. Frano Jush. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the students earning graduate certificates and diplomas in the Beedie School of Business. Anat Feldman. Fabio Feldman. Muhammad Mehdi Nasari Mojarat. Rina Jean Endaya. Paul Lum. Maria Luisa. Israel Sherazi. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Science. Ryan Burgess. Brendan Chow. Christina Collins. Thomas Domingo. David Dvorak. Adam Dick. Justin Gachier. Tishani Induraj. Alexandra Casper. Haeyun Kim. Olga Lenstorp. Carrie-Ann Law. Victoria Loosemore. Aresu Moajeri. France Paquet Nadu. Derek Chiu. Parina Salari Sharif. Valentin Sergiev. Samuel Simon, Tahira Tejpar, Trevor Thompson, Ying Jiang, Joanna Zhao, Joshua Paul.
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Beedie School of Business, Dr. Ali Dasmalshan, will announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in his faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration in the Beedie School of Business. Wen Long An, Kate Au Yuong, Marco Au, Armit Baines, Yasmin Bakhsh, Jordan Bates, Curtis Beaumont, Clarissa Berlian, Winona Batty, Punet Batty, Andrew Branting, Tejasvi Brar, Isda Chisa Tiva Need, Larissa Chan, Lok Yi Chan, Sun Sun Chan, Amber Chang, Emily Chang, Junia Chen, Mingyang Chen, Nian Chen, Jin Chen, Will Chen, Danica Cheng, Fabian Hoka Chong, Darren Choi, Nicholas Choi, thank you, Cecilia Cho, Tina Chu, Zachary Cloutier, Sean Collins, congratulations. Kevin Cruz, sorry. Jagmeet Dhaliwal, Shoying Fang, Yiying Feng, Alex Fong, William Fong, Ryan Fournier, Jijun Fu, Nomin Gantulga, Shan Gao, Korsimran Gill, Angel Granados, Hanyao Gao, Tracy Han, Daniela Hao, Faisir Hanqua, is that good? Daniel Ho Yuen, Rebecca Hu, Ruth Huang, Roxanne Huang, Angel Huang, Dan Yong, Tawfiq Jamal, Yingying Ji, Ahmad Jozi, Sydney Jujanus, Tarnvir Kang, Raman Karachenia. Is that okay? Alexander Kim. Ariana Lee. David Lee. Cheston Lee. Sean Lee. Jinyi Lee. Zheng Li, Zhuwei Li, Stella Ping Liang, Zhenhai Liang, Xuanya Lin, Jijuan Lin, Keifei Liu, Shuaman Liu, Brittany Lloyd, Kevin Lowe, Kayman Lowe, Li Lu, Lu Lu, Maxie Lu, Elvis Luke, Jiawen Lu, Herbert Ma, Longyi Ma, Yu Man, Beljot Mangot, Joshua McKissock, Catherine Meng, Honghua Mo, Vitalik Morozov, Julian Monroe, Cheyenne Najafi, Shelby Neal, Albert Ngo, Teen Go Tai Nguyen, Naomi Nicholson, Anastasia Nozdrachova, Enya Oyang, Prit Brianna Parmar, Chirag Patel, Ryan Prasad, Arjen Rai, Brett Redman, Crystal Rivera, Arjang Sadiq Abedini, Ai Sakura, Eric Sander, Patrick Sowers, Joanna So, Sophia Shi, Kathy Shen, Ahmad Sholi, Robert Silverwood, Larry Sitt, Nobel Su, Kevin Su, Rongru Son, Nina Sisoyeva, Wilson Tam, Hans Tantio, Sabat Sanim, Aaron Ting, Sandra To, Ajay Prit Tour, Jenny Tran, Chen Yu Tsai, Brian Tse, Janet Tse, Gurlin Tung, Tinan Van Wyk, Calvin Wang, Huiyuan Yang, Jiayi Wang, Rui Wang, Taiyu Wang, Yang Wang, Xiantian Wei, Buying Wu, Fangguan Shi, Jiaxin Xia, Lin Lu Zhu, Flora Yang, Josh Yang, Shenguin Yang, Wan Choi Yang, Yiran Yang, Erica Yen, Jiaqi Yu, Ming Zhang, Yuan Zhang, Yujing Zhang, Zhiying Zhang, Jiang Zheng, Jiakong Zhong, Zhengi Zhou, Dongiliang Zhu, Tianyi Zhou.
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Faculty of Science, Dr. Claire Couples, will now announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in her faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Science. Meshari Al-Mutiri, Nasser Al-Mutiri, Sargun Bajaj, James Baker, Amandeep Bassi, Derek Burdusco, Jaspreet Brar, Megan Brennan, Alwyn Chan, Emily Chan, Lauren Chan, Anchi Chen, Lulu Chen, Ariana Cheng, Bobo Chun, Jonathan Chung, Megan Collier, Drake Comber, Harman Combau, Ian Cross, Skyla Dalen, Marina Dean Gillis, Inderveer Diol, Pavan Dar, Jaskaran Danda, Kiran Desi, Sukmin Dot, Yi Tong Dong, Alia Dosanjh, Jeffrey Du, Hervir Dule, Dong Kai Fang, Ian Foster, Manoji Garam Lalaj, Harpreet Gill, Navjeet Gill, Karen Jitao, Robert Kochian, Sarah Gregg, Arpan Gruel, Brandon Harder, Leah Harrison, Kinranjit Heer, Carmen Ho, Nikki Ho, Selena Hong, Anton Yachenko, Kamal Rup Johal, Jan Johannes, Rihi Ju, Akhilesh Jugarnath, Monica Kahal, Kiju Kim, Catherine Kim, Hanisha Klar, Hyung Kyu Kwan, Candace Lowers, Emily Lee, Manke Lee, Shuwen Liang, Chuyan Lin, Tian Lu, Landiso Mandonsela, Tanvir Mahal, Karen Mack, Angelique Malari, Kristen Marasa, Forrest McCoy, Fred Mai, Mariella Moan, Rustam Mukhtarov, Paul Sujumoon, Raminder Nahal, Evelyn Ng, Yamina Ellen Nugroho, Suman Singh Pal, Punjit Panu, Alexi Poles, Sam Paymont, Theodore Penkoff, Emily Passer, Sarah Pipard, Alicia Platz, Connor Polichnik, Amit Prasad, Philippe Prévost, Teo Sanchez Mejia, Olivia Sandberg, Jasleen Sandhu, Jasmine Sangira, Jaideep Sapal, Andrea Sechik, Gubir Sekon, Yomina Shalabi, Ashke Sharma, Yogita Sharma, Andre David Sinkovich, Neda Sorabi, Hanwei Sudarudin, Kirsten Sullivan, Happy Sumal, Alex Tam, Shahzad Tikush Taban, Kevin Tran, Jagdeep Walia, Brittany Walker, Wan Ping Wang, Yuek Xian Wang, Donald Wiggins, Lisa Wild, Rachel Wilms, Doris Wong, Melissa Wong, Natasha Wong, Nicholas Wong, Victoria Wong, Yi Fan Wu, Linnea Yi, Vanessa Zarbel, Bo Zhang, Ying Zhang, Jinlong Zhao, Yun Chunju, Edward Jew. Madam Chancellor, I have the honour to present the student who's completed the requirements for a certificate in the Faculty of Science. Megan Kuruvita.
Will the graduating class please rise? Graduates, with your conferral this fall, Simon Fraser University is surpassing 150,000 graduates. I congratulate each of you on the completion of your degree. This is an impressive achievement, and I ask your friends, family, and members of the platform to join me in applauding the amazing graduating class of October 2017. Now, let's not forget who helped to get you where you are today. I invite the members of the graduating class to reciprocate by applauding your family, friends, faculty, and staff, indeed all those who helped you to achieve your goals. Please be seated.
My friends, this completes the formal awarding of degrees. Some of the graduands recommended by the Senate for degrees today have been unable to be present, and their names have therefore not been read out, but I now hereby admit them to their appropriate degrees as shown in your program. I have several thank yous to express. First, to all of you for joining us on this celebratory day. To the many volunteers, staff, and faculty members coordinated by the Ceremonies and Events Offices and Student Services who have worked together to run a smooth Convocation Day. And to the members of our 6-time world champion Simon Fraser University Pipe Band for their contribution to Convocation. And we will be hearing them again in a few minutes in Freedom Square behind the platform. This brings to a close the formal part of this morning's Convocation, but you are all invited to attend a reception in the James Douglas Room behind the platform. I ask you to rise and remain standing at your places until the platform party has recessed. Thank you.